Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be, all around the world. It is Saturday, October 9th, and it's time for the Virtual Pipe Club weekly meeting. I'm your host, David Dorian Ross, founder of the Virtual Pipe Club. This is the fantastic, handsome, generous, intelligent, sweet Zoom Room crew. Say hi, Zoom Room. There we go. That's all. Also silent, apparently, Zoom Room crew.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
They're so well trained. You know, they're so well trained. They're like.
How are you? I hope you're having a great day.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. And for those who don't know, we are also streaming live to Facebook and YouTube. I see we've got people jumping on already, and a very international group where we got people. Well, we'll see where everybody is at today. Kirk from Florida, that's almost another country, says, glad to see everybody. If you are watching out there, please drop a comment in the comment section to tell us hello and where you're from. Love to know about that. Well, if you're a regular on the Virtual Pipe Club meetings, you'll know that last week I had, I was not in the regular host chair. I was in Richmond at the Richmond Pipe Show. And let's see, Miguel and David and Tim took the reins and ran the club meeting. Very, very good job. I just want to say thank you and just let's give them a round of applause there. I don't know what happened to that. There was. Here, let's try this. There we go. Give them a round of applause.
A lot smoother than I had anticipated, for sure.
Okay, I tried. That's as much as I could get. And I was there doing my best to live stream. I didn't realize how shaky the live stream footage was until I watched the playback. So we'll do better next time. I'll get a big antenna to hold over my shoulder or something. And
I was going to say a lot of it was the connection, not you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's funny is that, on my side, when I'm watching the camera monitor, it looks awesome. I'm thinking to myself, I see you guys. You must see me. This must be fantastic. Then I get home and watch the playback, and I'm like, oh, well, c'est la vie, right?
The other suggestion, I was thinking about this the other night. I was watching Flat Cap when he did the BRT, Briar Report TV, BRTV. And they had the handheld microphone, like a game show contestant would. They were walking around. I think that would help a lot too.
Yeah, we chatted. I met up with him in Ladyfire while we were there, and he showed me what he was using for the microphone. I'm like, I have all that gear. I have exactly that gear. I should have brought it. So next time when we go, we'll definitely take that. And I will be in Dallas, by the way, on November 6th weekend. I just happen to have to be there for another conference, and I don't have to stick around that other conference all the time. So I'm skipping over to the Dallas show. So we'll do this one more time in November.
There you go. Plus, it's your first show.
Next time you can have Alvin holding the camera and David
I will be there.
holding the microphone.
I'll be glad to hold it if I can. I'll be there at the Texas Pipe Show. So.
And I have a brand new camera phone to use. This I sprung for the brand new iPhone 13, and it has an incredible. Assuming that we get a good connection, we're going to have some great footage on this puppy right here. Well, listen, let me just do quickly some of the people who are jumping in. Rich Gallagher says, up in Maine, he says, today the audio and the video are excellent. Thank you. Kirk from Florida is smoking some Golden Extra in a Nording pot shape. And Seneca Norberg is from the Bay Area. Say good morning. Hot Rod Bob up in Maine also. You guys got to get together. And Pipes and Peace says, hello, nice to be here. Blessings from Israel. See, I'm telling you, it's a very international crowd. Well, if you're new, this is our regular ritual. If you're not new, someone shoot me the Zoom link. Go over to the Facebook group called VPC Live, and there is a link to it up there. That's where the link is to the Zoom room. Okay, so what I was about to lead into is that we have this regular ritual every weekend to share what we're smoking it in. You guys in the Zoom room, you know the drill. Throw up your electronic hands, and I'll start with Bud, and then Bud's going to pass along the pipe to the next person and and we'll have some fun that way.
Hello, everybody. I'm in San Diego. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day after about a week of thunder clouds and rain and cloudy days here and there. So, of course, today all the moisture is rising up in the air and making it humid. But today I'm smoking one of Scotty's handmade pipes I bought back at the 2019 West Coast Pipe Show. It's great talking to him and his assistant there. And I'm smoking about a 10-year-old Artisan's Blend. So I will get him in here early. I'll pass it over to David Johnson.
Thank you, sir. Right now, I've got one of these little eBay unfinished pipes, and I'm smoking a mixture of black raspberry and vanilla that I put together. And here a little bit, I'm going to switch over to my new Nording, which I haven't even broken out yet. Shame on me. And I'm going to be smoking Stokeby 201 in that. And DDR, shout out to that individual in Israel. I've got 3 pipes made in Israel, and they're great smokers. So, anyway, let's see. How about I pass the virtual pipe here to Ramachandran. Let me pass it over to you, sir.
Thank you, David. Greetings to all. Today I'm smoking my Northern Brels Regal model, and in it I'm smoking Golden Extra, McBaron Golden Extra. And once I'm through with it, I'll be smoking my Ginger's Favorite, in which I'll be loading Haunted Bookshop. Now I pass it on to Dimitri.
Thank you, Ramachandran. Hello, everybody. Today I have a couple of Sassini pipes, this 2-dot Bulldog and this 4-dot. And I'm starting with the Barclay X Vincent blend. By the way, I also have 3 Israeli-made pipes. 2 of them not Sherman pipes, but made by Shalom Pipe Factory in US. Shalom Pipe Factory distributed as Alpha Pipes. And I also have a beautiful pipe made by Mookie Lieberman. I bought it from him when he was here in New York. And let me pass the pipe to John in North Carolina.
Thank you, Dimitri. Now, today I'm using one of my Petersons, a Peterson 305, and I'm smoking Frankenblend. This is a collection of odds and ends. As you all know, I throw them all into a bag after a while to mix them up. This has some Levitt and Pierce, which is the other Cambridge Tobacco Shop cake box in it. It's got some DNR Rinpoche in it. It's got some Sutliff Old Professor and probably a couple odds and ends of packets of Amphora that were left over. So it is pretty smooth smoking. It's a little dry because they're leftovers, but it works for me. So let me pass the virtual pipe on to Fadi.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. For tonight, I've chosen my Brebia Amber Ninja straight billiard, and in it I will be smoking plum cake. It's the Seattle Pipe Club Special Reserve Flake. I tasted it last time, and it's wonderful. And for my next bowl, I've chosen my Savinelli Plaza de España. This is one of my favorite Savinellis, and in it I will be smoking some vintage Latakia. So it's a rather English mixture night. I will pass now to Tim.
Thank you, Foudy. Well, right now I am smoking that Amphora Virginia blend. I continue to be very impressed with that blend. I'm smoking it in this Stanwell 186. And then following that, I'm going to be lighting up this Peterson Christmas pipe, which is in the Sherlock Holmes Professor shape, and it's got the very cool copper band on it, very inexpensive price. And in that, I'm very excited, smoking some London mixture from 2010. I did a pipe repair for a member of our club. He's a Dunhill guy, and he had a cracked Dunhill with a gold spigot on it, and he wanted me to take it off the one pipe, which was cracked, and mount it on a root briar. So it took me about 5 hours to do it because I was literally hand sanding it and using my hand as a lathe because I wasn't going to use any tools on it because it was really just a very very finite kind of fitting. So after about 5 hours, I finally got it together, and I'm very pleased to say I did not destroy $700 pipe. So I'm very happy about that. So that's my story for today. And I'm going to pass the virtual pipe on to Zach Ricketts. I think we haven't seen him for a while. Happy to have you back.
Thanks. Not sure where my video went. There it is. Yeah, I got to make do with the good weather when I can here in Pennsylvania, and we've had some good weather on the weekend, so I haven't been around. But today I have a Newt Carl Eric. You probably can't see, but the grain's awesome on it, and in it is plum pudding, bourbon barrel aged. Mike Rizzo, ready?
Thanks, Zach. So today I'm smoking what I refer to as my Radice cracked egg. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like an egg with a rough shape. It's a rind sandblasted.
Is it green? Is it green color?
No, it's a contrast stain. It's like a brown and tan.
Beautiful. Lovely.
Thanks. So in that I have one of my favorite straight Virginias, LJ Peretti's Boston Slices. And then after that, I got my Costello Chimney with some Capstan Gold. And to give myself a shameless plug, so on my YouTube channel, I'm doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. So if anybody wants to be entered in, you just have to, be a subscriber, make a video, tell me your favorite pipe. I'm giving away 4 pipes, 2 briar pipes, 2 custom cobs, and a 40-year-old tin of what is it? Oh, yeah, Solani 633 from Paul's Pipe Shop. So just to put that out there. Let's see. Where's my buddy Todd Sanzini? I know he's in here today.
Thanks, Rizzo. How are you, folks? Nice to see everybody. Only my second opportunity to join, and it's a pleasure. Good seeing some of these faces. I'm sorry that I didn't meet everybody that was there because I just didn't know who was who, but I do see some faces I met last week in Richmond, so that's awesome. Mike, thanks for the loot. Appreciate it, even though it is a little perfumey, weird, chemically. I still like having it, and I'll still smoke it. Much appreciated, brother. So I'm smoking a little Savinelli. It's my first go with this one, actually. Savinelli Roma Lucite. I love the look of these pipes. I have 2, and they're on my list to buy more. And I'm smoking for the first time also a new one for me, Galloping Gertie from Seattle Pipe Club, which is I've just gotten into it. It's pretty creamy and interesting. So yeah, I like it so far. We'll see what happens as I get through the pipe. But so far so good. And I'll have to excuse myself for 5 minutes at some point so I can go make another bowl because I'm a little late to the game here. But I'll get something else cooking. In the meantime, let's see, David Klein. I think you're up next, sir. I remember meeting you, and it was a pleasure. So I'm throwing it to you.
Yes, Todd. It was a pleasure meeting you too, and really enjoyed hanging out with Alvin Miller at the Richmond show and meeting DDR in person. And check out my shirt that DDR gave me. So anyway, I figured out the key to economical pipe smoking is 1, you buy an airplane ticket. 2, go stay in a hotel. 3, eat all your meals in restaurants. 4, take a taxi everywhere you go. And then go to a pipe show and you can save $75 or so on a pipe. So that's my key. But anyway, I am smoking this pipe that I picked up at the pipe show. And this is a Savinelli Giotto. And
I've never seen one like that. Beautiful.
And I don't think they make them anymore. I've looked online. But it's a Giotto model and the 207 shape, which I already have a 207 that's rusticated. It's part of their Tortuga line. And so in this, I'm smoking some of the Sutliff 503 Heavy English that I got at the pipe show. And it's not real heavy, but it tastes pretty good. And then later, after I finish that one, I'm going to smoke this one. This is something else I got at the pipe show. And this is called a Royal Dutch, made in Holland. And I thought it was interesting. As they say, it spoke to me. And it's got a square shank on it. So you can sit it down and it won't fall over. And in this one, I'm going to smoke some Sutliff Balkan 2 when I get to it. So anyway, I had a great time in Richmond and enjoyed meeting those who I met. And too bad I didn't meet others, but next pipe show is coming around here pretty soon. So I'll try and go to that. So with that, thank you. And let me pass it over to Perry Spiropoulos.
Thank you. Today I'm smoking I don't know if you can see this particularly well. It's Mehmet Ali Birinci Mirsham. I have 3 pipes by this carver. He's in Turkey. And I love them all. They're beautiful and they're great smokers. And this one's in the shape of a calabash. And the shank is just dark brown from all the smoking in it. But you can only contact him through his German eBay store. And I think he has a Facebook page too now. But he's phenomenal. He's a great carver. In it, I'm smoking McBaron's HH Balkan and very smooth stuff. It reminds me a little bit of the old vintage Syrian, though the Latakia is obviously different, but the other balances, fundamentals are very close. With that, I'll pass the virtual pipe on to Stuart in Australia.
Thanks, Perry. Good morning, everybody. This morning, we've got a 60-degree morning with the forecast of rain in beautiful Nelson Bay and on the east coast of Australia. So maybe some of that rain that Bud mentioned has done the full circle, so to speak. Anyway, here's what I'm smoking this morning. It's a Southern Alley Bing's favourite. And in it, I've got my Elizabethan mixture, which is I'm having a bit of a run on vapours at the moment and enjoying them immensely. So with that, I'll pass the virtual pipe to Randall.
There we go. Thank you, Stuart. Hope things are going well for everybody. Got a beautiful, well, not that beautiful a day, but just a nice day. It's overcast, but it's warm. And it's a time of year up here in Wisconsin where we've got a lot of leaves on the ground, but there's still a lot of leaves hanging in the trees yet, too. So it's not done. I've been working on that, and it's a fall chore you got to do. Today, the little basic bones billiard, one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, but I like this one a lot. And I've got some Peter Stokeby, number 17, I think it is, English Luxury. Good Latakia flavor, but mild, not harsh. No bite at all. Great aroma. Easy to smoke. Real easy to smoke. And boy, that's what I like. Let's see. Alvin, I see you down there puffing away.
Yes, thank you, Randall. We'll see. Let me be sure I'm on. Yep, I'm unmuted. Well, hello, everyone. I'm on a short leash today. I am beautiful day in Texas, and I'm with a family and friends watching the Texas-Oklahoma game, which is kind of a pretty important game down this part of the country. And
Red River rivalry?
Yes, and I am on the front porch of a friend's house, and I don't think my wife can find me. I'm sure she'll be looking in a minute. But I told them I had to visit with my other friends just for a few minutes. But I'm smoking some Kramer Father Dempsey in my Chacombe Atlas. Very yellow, but it's a good smoker, and enjoying it. And I did have to pick a couple of pipes up at the pipe show, but I was rushed to get here, so I didn't have time to pack everything I'd want to pack. So I'll hopefully show those in a future show. And again, I enjoyed meeting those of you who made that pipe show. That was a wonderful experience. And
Nice shirt you got, Alvin.
Thank you. And my virtual pipe club shirt is dirty, David, so that's why it's not on me. It's smelling pretty bad, so I didn't wear it today, but I'll wash it and wear it next time.
It's like a meerschaum. You've just got to.
Who's up next? Let me send Stephen.
Those T-shirts are like
Emos.
Those T-shirts are like a meerschaum pipe. You just have to keep wearing them and smoking in them until they're just pretty much soaked in tobacco smell.
I didn't receive mine in the mail yet. Is there a problem with shipping or something?
I think so, sir. We'll get on that right away.
You have to attend a pipe show with David. That's the only way you can get one.
Thank you, Alvin.
You're welcome.
Today I'm smoking in my club pipe some plum pudding, and later on I'm going to go ahead and smoke some of the Black House. This time of the year is a good time of the year for me, at least, for smoking with the Latakia blends. And I will go ahead and pass this to Marco.
Hello from Denmark. I'm smoking Danish Stanwell with some bamboo. And in it, I'm smoking for the first time Ashley's number 44, which is Virginia, I think. Yeah, it is. And it's so far so good.
Delicious blend.
Yeah. Let me pass the pipe to David.
Thank you. Thank you, Marco. All right. Today, arcing for so many people who came late. I'm half Oliver on his behalf. If we get rid of these, I look like Saint Ireland or what? Do I?
No,
just kidding. I'm smoking like an artisan Russian pipe It's like a tomato one, really, really small. I got it in Columbus in a trade. And for that one today, I'm smoking the Farmer's Flake, the straight grain, which is the strongest in Perique of the three, but not really, really strong. And if I probably will smoke it during the whole thing, because normally my pipes last 2-3 hours. And if not, I will be smoking this. You've probably seen it before, the Briar Works that I smoke for English. It has an amazing grain. Bird sides at the bottom, on the side of the shank. And like Marco was smoking, I'm going to be smoking Astley, but the number one, which is like it's sort of like a Scottish blend, has some sort of Cavendish, but not too much. It's not too sweet to my taste. So it's smokable, but it's not something that I would probably repeat. Let's see. Steve from Colorado is next.
Hey, David. I'm smoking, let's see, there it is. It's a relatively new acquisition, Sherlock Holmes Handsome with a P-lip, which, Tim, I'm still getting used to. I'm not sure whether I'm sold on it or not, but it smokes very well. And it sounds like all of us are switching blends as the season got cooler. I'm doing some Royal Twist, Latakia from McBaron's. It was a tobacco I smoked in the very beginning, and then it went out of production and I never could find it. So I'm trying that. And I've switched to Early Morning Pipe or Squadron Leader recently as the weather's cooled down, and they've been really nice in the cooler weather. So let me pass this to Miguel.
Hi, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. This morning I am smoking a Tom Elton, Sarah Elton Lobat. And in it, I'm smoking a McBaron Original Choice. And later this afternoon, I'm going to smoke Tom Elton's Bamboo Pencil Shank. And in it will be this guy, McBaron Rustica. So I learned my lesson. I need to smoke this actually on a small bowl, like what Perry Jensen said. Thank you. And I'll pass the virtual pipe to Alistair.
Everyone, it's nice to be here in the Zoom room. For the first time in quite a while, I am trying to make some progress. It's a little slow going on this enormous can of Haunted Bookshop that my wife got me for Christmas or Father's Day or something in the past. And I am doing so in a Peterson Kenmare, which I'm smoking for the very first time, and it is wonderful. So thank you all for allowing me to share with you on that. Having said so, I will pass this on to Dennis.
Hello, everyone. Smoking I don't know if you can see this or not, something new from Missouri Meerschaum called a Kingston Judge. Just came out. This is another Cornell and Deal collaboration with Missouri Meerschaum. And this is my first pipeful in it with good old Amphora, Virginia, which is all you guys' fault. I had never heard of it until you guys kept telling everybody. I think I can blame Miguel first, but all of you guys have been mentioning this stuff. And I got to admit, for the money, just a simple basic price blend, boy, this stuff is decent. And it's a straight Virginia, not a Virginia Perique or nothing. And I just love that stuff. And as a side note, warning, all of a sudden, this thing is now $31, which is not bad for a pipe, but it's murder for a simple corn cob. Prices are going up, guys. What can I tell you? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Thomas Bose.
Hey, thank you, Dennis. It is a windy day today in Boulder, Colorado. I'm adjacent to about 3,000 feet of sheer granite. And the wind comes howling down, which makes pipe smoking outside really tough. So I might have to retreat to my garage today. And if I do, I will be trying some of the Star of the East flake. It is something new, and probably going to put it in some Savinelli, probably a 320. So let's see. Let's go to Kent.
Thank you, Thomas. If I can push these buttons. I appreciate it. Good to see everyone today, tonight, this morning, wherever, whenever you are. I'm smoking the 2020 club pipe here, coloring up nicely as it goes along with some pumpkin spice. I would say dried out pumpkin spice, but it's dried out 3 days, and I think that's all the drier it's going to get. But it's a good seasonal tradition for me. When I'm done with that, I'll be working. While I'm listening, I'll be working on getting the exterior cleaned up of this Aero Grate pipe that was Yellow Bull's answer to, or attempt to answer to, the Falcon back in the 50s and 60s. So Burley Light without a bite in that. And if I get to another pipe, it will be some sort of Burley blend in this Missouri Meerschaum from somewhere between 50 something or 60, early 60s to 72, that era. So I do not see the symbol of raised hands anyplace else, but if you haven't done it electronically, just wave at the screen and I can call your name.
Glenn, did you go? There we go. I thought so.
Okay, Glenn, take it over, Glenn.
Hi, gang. Thanks for joining today. Today I'm smoking Cornell and Deal cross-eyed cricket. I happen to have a large, I think it's the 100-gram version of this. It's fairly old and it's a little bit dry, but it's I've smoked it before and have it today. And I'm smoking in a nice long, I believe this would be classified a lumberman because it's got the oval stem, but it's from a pair of brothers named Votis, V-O-T-I-S, from Albany and Syracuse, New York. They made the pipes in their shop for years and years and had a tobacco shop in both locations. It's a very nice pipe. I had this one for probably 5 years, and all of a sudden another one showed up in my collection. I don't remember even where I purchased it, but now I've got 2 of them, and they're great smokers. Anybody else?
Dimitri, did you go? Did you? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Anybody else that I didn't see here? Some of y'all snuck in while I was not paying attention. Zach went, and Todd Sanzona. I know you went. I just want to say it's good to see you.
Thank you, sir. You as well. I didn't say this earlier. Some of you guys might know me from posting in the Facebook page as Sanzini. That's me. Just so cheers to everybody.
It was really awesome to put some, handshakes to some of the faces and the names that I've been able to see in our meetings, and also just on the YTPC, and so that was. That alone makes me go back to another pipe show. Just really awesome. Mike Rizzo, you spoke up already, yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll tell you then. It'll fall on me to do the cleanup batting. But first, I want to. We do have some people. Got a ton of people actually over there on Facebook and YouTube, and they've also been sharing what they've been smoking. So. Good morning from Wausau, Wisconsin. Smoking some Rattrays, Brown Clunet in a Peterson System 20 FB. I would turn that over to Tim to be able to tell me what.
I I'm not sure what it is. I think that's an older shape.
If Tim doesn't know, then
it's rare.
Yeah, it's rare. Or they bought it on the streets of New York City, and it's a Peterson with 2 R's. Peterson.
From Canal Street.
Yeah, exactly. Hot Rod Bob smoking some McBaron 7Cs black in a corn cob. I'm going to talk about corn cobs in a second here, by the way. Seneca Nordberg puffing on some C&D Sunset Harbor in a Rop bent Dublin with a horn stem. See, I like to read these out because then it makes me want to, I want to see that pipe. So you're going to have to come onto the Flow Show or the Zoom room here one of these days and show us all these good stuff. Let's see what else. Lots of people just saying hello. Everybody says this very friendly group. Red Raider Reloading says, smoking my newly acquired 4-squared Panel 7 LE and some Autumn Evening. Right. Anyway, so thank you guys all for and Mike, your YouTube channel is Philly Piper, right? So
correct.
People were asking.
Yeah, and it's funny. I just got a notification that Red Raider Reloading just subscribe.
There you go. That's why we do this. Fantastic. So before I jump in and share with you what I'm smoking and what I'm smoking it in today, I just want to kind of give you guys a heads up on what we thought we'd do for the topic of today's meeting. And since we don't have a guest speaker, this is you are the guest speakers. Right? You are the experts because we're talking specifically about what is changing as the seasons change in your pipe. Like some guys are like, this isn't even a thing. But other guys are like, as the weather gets cooler, I'm going to switch over. A couple of people have already said towards their Englishes and whatnot. So love to make that the topic of our conversation today. What's your favorite autumn blends? Have you switched already? Let's talk about that. And yes, I am going to bring up the obvious as I just did that with Autumn Evening, but I think there's probably some other blends that are maybe a little bit less obvious. And then we can talk about why that's your switch, right? The other thing that we might do if we have some time is to do a review of the Richmond Pipe Show. So a bunch of us went there. I was there. David Klein was there. Alvin was there. Senzini was there. God, who am I leaving out? Ton of people were there. I sat around with them. Shane Ireland was there. We hung out a bit. Jim Amash, who we're going to have on the meeting as a guest speaker fairly soon. He was there. We all hung out. That guy is a crack up. He is one nonstop series of stories and jokes. So
his jokes that he posts on his Facebook are just hilarious. It's like all G-rated, but like still you can't help but laugh at them.
we got the other ones too. To show.
I'm sure.
So we all have some stories to share, and I'm going to show you my haul that I brought back from the show. It's not. I got out cheap. Let's just put it that way. You guys might remember when Mike from Briar Blues was on. He said, "Don't take your credit card with you. Just take whatever cash that you feel like you are going to be able to afford to spend, and then that's all you do when you're walking up and down those tables." But he forgot to mention PayPal. So PayPal was my other option, and so after I ran out of cash, I was doing PayPal for a few things. But still, I got out there fairly cheap. Okay, so I got up this morning, and I don't know why. I just felt like today was a church warden day, and I pulled out my clay church warden. And this one actually had never been smoked before, so I had this sitting in the cellar for a while, and I thought I would smoke some. And I started off with some Halloween in a can. This stuff is amazing. This stuff is really, really good.
You managed to get some of that before they ran out.
Well, no, I did not. But I'm going to talk about this in a second here. So, because some of you are going to benefit from this largesse, that we were sponsored by smokingpipes.com to do a giveaway. And I guess I might as well just say it right now. So I posted this last night, and then they went like super, super fast. But smokingpipes.com gave us 20 of these corncob pipes from Missouri Meerschaum. And I've taken all of the tins that we got. Yes, I did put a little aside for myself. Just saying. But I'm bagging these up with this is like probably about 3 pipefuls, unless you're smoking a pipe like Mike Rizzo, in which case it's, a quarter of a bowl. But I measured it out to the corn cob, and each packet is getting about 3 bowls full. And so they sold out immediately. In fact, they didn't really sell because they were free, but the guys are paying me the postage on that. They should go out Monday. So if you're watching and you were one of the lucky ones to DM me immediately and got on the list, then this is going out as soon as I can. And I've still got one more can to open and cut up, and then I'll be stuffing these a little bit more full. So what am I smoking in? So I started off with, as I said, a little of the Scarecrow. Did I mention how good that is? I mean, seriously, this is a perfect fall time, autumn smoke. It is, you open the tin up and immediately it's like, that's Halloween, man. Now, we've done this thing, but I think even last year we did this whole haunted bookshop, haunted pirate ship, dreams of Kadath and all that kind of stuff. It's like the spooky version of Halloween season. But there's this whole other side to Halloween, which is trick-or-treating and candy and, smell of leaves and somebody's got fire. All of that is in that can of Scarecrow. You open it up and immediately candy corn knocks you on your butt. But of course, it doesn't taste like candy corn. It's just the tin note. But they did a nice job with that.
Dave, DDR, can you say something about?
Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Oh, DDR, can you just mention what the components are in that Halloween blend?
I would be happy to. So it says, I will read you this. An eerie chill descends on your evening walk. Drawing your coat closer, you pause and light your pipe. The fragrance of earthy burley, hay-like Virginias, caramel apples, and candy corn mingling with the oncoming mist. Crossing the cornfield just off the road, you spy the Scarecrow, silent, still. You've seen him before, but you can't shake the feeling that this time he sees you. So Burley, Virginia, and stuff. So it's a Weber. Where am I at? There we go. So then once I finish that pipe, I'm going to pull out, I'm not sure which second pipe I'm going to do, but I'm going to switch to autumn evening because you have to. That's all. All right. Red Raider says, guess my loss since I'm not on Facebook. I know, right, brother? By the way, we are going to attempt something special here. I started the Virtual Pipe Club as, I don't know, a lark in a way, just to see if I could meet a couple of guys somewhere to smoke while the pandemic was going on. And all of a sudden it's blossomed into this, very large following and some really amazing friends. But we've never done anything formal like sort of website or anything like that. But we had so many people saying, I'm not on Facebook, I don't do that, how can I get into it? So we've been thinking a little bit about starting up just a regular, simple web page where we could stream this to the website, and then people could come into the Zoom room from the website. And that way you don't have to, break your value system by going on social media. Don't sell your soul to get just into the Pipe Club. So that may be coming, but that's not our highest priority. Our highest priority is just hang out and smoke. Okay. But did I show you what these packets look like? Yes, I did. All right, so they're coming. Let me just kind of throw this out in the open and let you gentlemen chime in with your thoughts. And I'm going to sort of start this off with Dimitri, because I'm very curious about what his thoughts might be. Do you change your tobaccos as the seasons change? Do you have a thought about that? And then what tobaccos do you change to, and what makes your decision, go that way?
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So,
well, I smoke all kind of tobaccos throughout the year, but usually in summer it's more lighter tobaccos, Virginia's Oriental. In colder season, it's more of heavier tobaccos, more of English Perique. And also, I want to make a couple of announcements. Well, at first, if you are a member of Corn Cob Nation on Facebook, they just released Nation Pipe of the Year, made by Missouri Meerschaum. It's available for order. Only 250 pipes made. I think some are still available, and also Lips corn cob pipes also available. And another announcement, if you happen to be in New York City area next Tuesday, October 12th, we have New York Pipe Club meeting at Soho Cigar Bar starting at 6 p.m. Feel free to join us if you happen to be here.
that's awesome. And Dimitri will be giving away extra tins of Scarecrow. Is that right, Dimitri? Did you say that?
No, actually, that's not my kind of tobacco. I'm non-aromatic smoker, though. Yes, it's great tobacco. It's collaboration between Cornell and Deal and World Cigars. They third time, 30 in a row, they make special blend for Halloween. But if you'll join us at Soho Cigar Bar, you'll have chance to smoke Rose of Latakia by McClelland. I'm going to pop open tin of Rose of Latakia, which was made with a Syrian Latakia.
See? So if you're in the New York area, New Jersey, Philly, Mike, you could scoot over to the city there for that day. Tell your wife you'll be back in a couple hours. Awesome. So let's just throw it open. If it gets unruly, I'll have the hand thing go up again, but you guys are not unruly. So let's keep talking about it. Mike, why don't you jump in there since I called your name a minute ago?
So I generally smoke the same thing all year round, but around this time, I smoke Sleepy Hollow from Strauss Tobacconist. I usually smoke some like Lane 1Q. I do have some like No Bite Delight from Boswell's. Side note, I did get a couple tins of Scarecrow, which are now in the possession of Sanzini, because not my cup of tea. Very well blended, quality tobaccos, but I couldn't get through a bowl of it. Just too much for me. I'm not a big fan of candy corn either, so that doesn't help. But I don't.
Since you brought it up, did it taste like an aromatic to you? Is that too much?
Yeah, it was overwhelmingly just, not tobacco flavor. It was just whatever the candy corn and the vanilla caramel. It sounds much better in the tin description to me than it tasted. And the first bowl that I smoked was in this new the same thing Dennis was smoking. I got one of these, and all I could taste was the cob. And I was like, all right, I didn't give it a fair shake, so let me put it in like a regular bowl. Then I smoked it in that, and it just wasn't for me. But Sleepy Hollow, on the other hand, is a phenomenal blend that they only release. I think they start selling it in August, maybe the end of August through middle of October, maybe.
And the only place you can get it is at Strauss, right?
Yeah. You have to call them. I don't even think they have. I think Todd just ordered it. I don't even think they have any online presence at all. You have to call them and order it. But it's really good. It's well worth it.
They do. That's followed by them with Wenceslas. They come out with that around Thanksgiving, which is their Christmas blend. Sleepy Hollow is kind of their Halloween to Thanksgiving blend.
I haven't had that. I'll have to check.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, Mike, do you like Payday candy bars?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, just add some peanuts to the candy corn. You'll think you're eating one. I promise you.
I'll take that baton if you don't mind, guys, because Mike was good enough to hook me up with his one open tin of Scarecrow, and I posted my review. I probably had more thoughts on that one than I have about any other blend I've tried, so I went ahead and threw them up online. He's right on the money. I liked it though. I'm not gonna sell mine off like he did. I enjoyed it. I will continue to enjoy it this season, and then I'll put it away until next year probably, and hang on to that tin for a while thereafter. But it's real sweet. You definitely have to like a sweet arrow to dig this one. It's got a weird little mixture of flavors. I thought it had a little booze to it, a little something. I don't know, hard to identify. But I like you did a couple times in there sipping it, and what I got was marshmallow, and I also thought I tasted some graham. So I got like a s'mores taste out of it. It's not really chocolatey though, so don't go that far. But it's interesting. But what kind of ruined it to a degree for me, because of all that's fine, but it's chemically, and there was just this weird sensation and flavor that I got through most of the smoke, not the entire smoke. I feel like it burned off a little bit toward the end, but and it's weird. I commented about this in the Facebook group too, that I smoked the bowl at the pipe show, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I didn't get that chemical sensation from that bowl. Maybe it was the pipe I used. I don't know. But for whatever reason, this time I got it, and it was not as enjoyable as it was last week. So worthwhile, I think. Tin art's cool. If you're just a collector, and you want to try it out, by all means, grab some if you can. I mean, at this point, it's all gone. I'm happy to have one.
Todd, did you open up the second tin yet?
I have not, sir. I'm going to keep that one closed at this point.
So that is really, and I apologize because I know you were going to share about your thoughts about seasonal tobacco, but it's really interesting, the comment on the Scarecrow. I wonder if Mike, you just got one tin that was really overdoused or something, which would mean it was like one batch, probably other people, because like you, when I smoked it before the first time, I've never had that aromatic taste of it. The tin note will knock you off of your chair. I mean, it is undoubtedly really powerful, very candy-like, very sweet, very all of those s'mores tastes and marshmallow. Like that's a very good thing you caught there, my man. But in the palate, the mouthfeel is not chemically that I feel at all, and much more like a very mild kind of Balkan or something. A very mild, the smell of burning leaves in a good way, by the way.
That's very possible, because I'm the type of guy that I'll not reach for the first thing on the shelf. I'll take the box behind it, and then when I get home, that's the box that's been opened and is missing parts and stuff. So if it was going to happen to anybody, it would be me.
It's and there's no wrong answer, by the way. Obviously, for those people maybe haven't watched our meetings before, or a few people saying that they're new pipe smokers. Everybody's chemistry is different. Everybody's palate is unique, and so there's no wrong answer, right, guys? So my deliciousness could be yours. That would be fine. But back to you, Todd.
Agreed. Yeah, and I'll add to that. One thing I'm doing is drying it out. I got it. I actually have it trayed up right now, just laying out for a couple of hours. I put it out 1 hour before I joined you guys, and as soon as the Zoom is over, I'll go back in and jar it again, and maybe smoke it in a day or two and see if it's any different. Who knows? But like I said, I didn't not enjoy it. It was just not as good as I remembered it last week, frankly. So yeah. And as far as seasonal stuff goes, full disclosure, and many of you already know this, but I'm a new piper. I've only been doing this for less than a year, so I don't have a routine yet. My routine at this point is just try as much as I can and try to expand my palate and sample, all the different styles, and then kind of whittle down to. And I already have a handful of favorites that I know will be with me always, but I can see where already things like plum pudding are probably going to be in my pipe a little bit more. I can see the rustica is fantastic, but that's maybe a once a week kind of thing. It's so potent and unique in and of itself. This stuff that I'm smoking now is pretty good. This Galloping Gertie, not necessarily a fall, but it's got that. It's a vapor, but it's definitely got some other stuff in there that's making it almost taste like a Balkan. So it's
Orientals. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's a vapor Oriental. It's super good. It's
unique for as far as the ones I've tried so far. Mike hooked me up with just some samples. One of which I've tried already, and that's Arrowhead from Mike. Help me out.
Paul's Pipe Shop.
Thank you. And I'm gonna I think I might call them after I'm done here and order some. Fantastic aromatic Paul's Pipe Shop Arrowhead. It's terrific, mild but still sweet. There's some stuff going on underneath of it, so it's not worn down by the toppings. Smooth smoke, no bite, tremendous. And then I'm going to get some of the other stuff that you mentioned from Saul's as well. I already ordered that, so it's on the way. So yeah, I'm sure those will be in my regular rotation here for the coming weeks. But anyway, that's it. I've talked long enough. Thank you guys, and let's hear what somebody else has to say.
Yeah, just jump in if you've got a thought on that. That would be your cue.
I'll add on to what Mike Rizzo said, which is the Strauss Tobacconist blends. There are several they do themselves. And the Sleepy Hollow is one of them, which comes out in the fall. And then they have a winter blend, Wenceslas, which is nice too. There's a third blend, which is probably available year round. And these three arrows are probably the only arrows I smoke. Generally, I don't smoke aromatics. But they have one called Gaslight, which is in English with a little bit of coffee topping on it, which is pretty nice. There's not so much that you get the chemical taste as you smoke. So it's a pretty good fall blend as well.
Glad you mentioned that one. I picked up some of that too. So hopefully I'm with you and enjoying that one soon.
Great.
The other one that I wanted to mention that I forgot about that I'm waiting for is Peretti's Thanksgiving Day, which I don't know if it's at the beginning of November or the 1st of November, but that's one that every year I get. It comes in like a 4-ounce cake, which is a really good blend that I'm looking forward to every year.
Excuse me, David.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask you for your clay pipe that you're smoking now. The tip of the shank. Have you added something, or it's you've bought it with this?
It's paint.
The tip.
It's just glaze. I was trying to think of what they call it when you paint clay. No, it's a it's just one piece here, right? So it's nothing. When I opened the box when I first bought these, I was like asking the same thing. I was like, "Ooh, is there something special on there?" But no, it's just glazed the end of the tip there.
That tip they put kind of like soft paint, which makes it more comfortable in your mouth, on your lips. It looks like one of those Danish pipes by Zenith.
This was again. The name is just escaping me, but it's a German company that in fact, Oliver got us a special price for these, if I'm not mistaken. That was like last year, and they like 10% off on all these, and so I bought a couple of church wardens and some smaller ones, and this was the first time I'd smoked it. So we go scrolling back to last year's posts and find that, and I'll bet you we could get another 10% off for everybody.
I think that was Pinch Valley. Pinch Valley. That's the name of the company, I think.
Yeah, it was. And it was 15%.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, speaking of, I just got the DISM finally with the Virtual Pipe Club discount, which I got to say, it's a very large lighter, which is way bigger than what I would prefer, but it's a really great lighter. But I mean, it's big. It's really big.
Now they have a different one, the Hammer, which is even bigger than that, but it has pipe tool in the handle.
I saw that. I was looking at that, and I was like, if they made a mini, like a DISM mini, it'd be perfect.
Now people will just be greeting and say, "Mike Rizzo, is that a DISM in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?"
Trust me, it's a DISM. Just hey, as the newbie in the group, or one of the newbies, I guess you guys are talking about something that involves a discount for the Pipe Club. That's a new thing for me. Is there any way to get a kind of a refresher list of things that might be available to us at a discount? I'd be interested to know.
Miguel, what do you think? Could we go back and find all those and maybe gather them up?
Oh, we could probably do something like that. Yeah.
Didn't Penn Valley move their stuff to Missouri Meerschaum?
That sound of silence means nobody knows.
Well, that's where you can find all of their clay pipes and the planters and the other corn cobs.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, all Dominion pipes, both clay and cobs, are now owned and distributed by Missouri Meerschaum.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Didier, is there any update on our club pipe that Meerschaum?
I don't have an update yet. I was thinking about that just when we were logging on. I haven't had a chance to speak to Oliver this week. So my assumption is, still the same story that's happening. So just for everybody's, in case you hadn't heard, all the pipes are done. All of the club pipes have been finished and shaped and everything, except for the mouthpieces. And they are having trouble getting the stock imported into Turkey. And so I have no idea how long that takes, or if they, had a breakthrough last week or something like that. So I'll run it down and see where they're all at there.
Well, I know exact answer to that question. Those pipes will be ready as soon as they're ready.
So John, in North Carolina, man, the seasons are changing out there, aren't they?
Yes. We moved a little bit further south. We used to live up in the Richmond area, actually. We moved a little bit south because where we lived, we'd get these snows. It was a rural area. Our power would go out for 4 or 5 days. Even though we had a generator, you can't run everything. But here, it does stay warm a little longer, but it has turned cold in the past week. Cold being a relative term, temperatures in the 70s. For example, today it's in the 70s, not going to get above the mid 70s, and it's raining. For me, I pretty much smoke the same things year round, But in the fall, like a lot of us, I do find myself tending more toward the English blends, less aromatics. And I tend to favor more things that are a little heavier and a lot of Kia. And I think for me, that's driven in part because growing up as I did a long time ago, that was back in the days when people used to rake all their leaves out to the gutter and light them in the ditch. So neighborhoods filled up in the fall with the smell of burning leaves. And while sometimes that was problematic, and that's pretty much why most localities have begun to outlaw that. But for me, that's fall. And so getting a tobacco that has that aroma that's reminiscent of leaves being burned is kind of important for me. So that's kind of the change that I'll be making. But I'll pretty much smoke everything that I have as I do year round. So no big change other than shifting more into the English tobaccos.
You know, that smell of burning leaves, that's what I was talking about that I get from Scarecrow. I thought maybe I was just, crazy again. But since John knows what I'm talking about, that it reminds me of my childhood, right? Like we used to rake the leaves up and set them on fire, and that is fall. That's right.
It is. I'm surprised we didn't burn down multiple neighborhoods doing that. But I do remember one time as a child where we raked a huge pile of leaves up, wrapped potatoes in foil, and buried them in there before we lit them off. And by the time you were done cleaning up your yard and getting everything piled up into a pile and burned down and then put out, you typically could rake those out and you had a nice batch of baked potatoes.
I wanted to ask Tim Heineck, as our Peterson expert here. Now I can't find him on my screen here.
He's invisible.
He's invisible?
Yeah.
Or did he? Tim, are you still here? I waited too long to ask my question. Well,
bathroom break.
I'll zip over. Yeah, bathroom break. I'll zip over to David Martinez, talk a little bit about, do you smoke the same thing all year round? It's just vapor, or do you?
Only Perique.
Yeah.
Normally, what I do, I'm not a person who tend to change anything throughout the year. I'm not a Virginia vapor during the summer months or hot months, and then Larakia all winter. Normally, I tend to smoke about 15, 20 bowls a week, and I probably smoke, I'm going to say 15 bowls of Virginias, Periques, and Orientals, maybe 2 or 3 bowls of English, because I ended up getting tired or sick of Larakia always tasting the same. And even if you have other leaves, it's monochromatic. It goes over the other ones. And what I tend to do a lot, it's in these fall months, smoking more like burley blends, mostly Maryland blends because they are spicier. I'm not a big fan of the chocolatey burley, but I have so many blends to try, or they're in my rotation that I just grab one and say, oh, I'm in the mood for this one. I haven't smoked it in a while. I tend not to have too many English ones, Balkans, Larakia, just because of the fact that sometimes if there is one that I open and I didn't care for, it's going to be there for months and months and months until I finish, or I just give it to somebody from my club. One thing I tend to do more in the winter than in the summer, it's since I have tons of yogurt tins from Daughter and Ryan, for Mark Ryan, I tend to make my own blends for fun, just to play with this one and write those down, smoke it for a while. And if something works, I buy more of these ones to make more, and I normally share with the guys from my pipe club. There is 2 or 3 guys from the club who really love the blends I make, English ones I make for themselves. But for me, it's always 15, 20 bowls a week. Let's say 75% of Virginias, vapors, Orientals, maybe a couple bowls of Larakias and some burleys here and there. Aromatics, I used to smoke only original choice, like Miguel is smoking, because that was my go-to. That's pretty much it. So I really don't care of the month, of the year, if it's cold or not. Sometimes what happened to me, the weird thing is like I'm craving for an English blend, and I may open 2 or 3 tins and smoke 2 straight weeks English, but it doesn't matter. It could be March, July, or September. So I really don't care about this idea of winter ones, you smoke Laraquias or Virginias during the hot months. I know some people has this policy of like, and some of you drink beer. Let's say you get the lagers during the summer months because it's more refreshing, and you get like Guinness or dark beers during the winter because it's more like to be warm inside the house. So I'm not the best example of telling you, oh, these are the first 5 blends I smoke in summer. These ones are for spring, these ones are for fall, and these ones are for winter. I don't follow directions on that.
David's a rebel. So he's always going to march to his own drummer. No, seriously. I think a lot of people, the one comment that you made that I think a lot of people can relate to is how many, tins of tobacco you already have in your cellar. If you start to like separate them out, you'll never get through them all, right? So just smoke what you feel like.
I mean, I have about 400 tins at least in my cellar, and I've been smoking for so long that I already know the blends that I tried that I didn't care for. And normally what happens is like every 10 new tins I open or smoke, I really repeat only 3 of them, normally 2-3 of them. So I have about 40, 50 blends that I love so much. Of course, I always have the Carolina Red Flake. I always have my beloved Fillmore open. London Mixer is one of my favorite English. 10 Russians. Balkan Assassini is another one. Margate. So I already know the 10, 12 English blend Balkans that I love. So these ones are always on my rotation. I opened this one about a month ago, and it's still here. I probably only smoked 2 balls. So imagine how much I care about English or Laraquias. If I really love it, don't worry. That tin is going to be finished within a week or 2. If I don't, it can be here for months.
We got Peter from Radiant Pipes over on YouTube said you just listed all his favorite blends. So, David, you need a YouTube channel too, so you could connect with a bunch of these guys.
No, I don't have your power to talk in front of people. I can help others to tell them what this blend is or that blend is. I don't mind sharing all my knowledge or point of view of this blend or that blend, but I'm not like my research. I cannot be in front of a camera more than 3 minutes, and probably not even in
Tom
English.
Selleck.
You what?
I said people love Tom Selleck. They'll love you with that mustache.
I have to get rid of this. I'm Oliver today.
So I see Tim's back. Tim, we missed you there for a second.
Yeah, had to take a break for a moment. I smoke a lot of the same things throughout the year. Probably in the summer, maybe some more lighter Englishes. Lighter Virginias. I'm pretty much a Virginia Flake fan. In the winter, as we move into the fall, fall in New England is great. I mean, it has all the foliage. It has the nice, crisper weather. It's got the Halloween up here is just like a madhouse. I live in Haverhill, Massachusetts, and Salem's about 40 minutes away from me, and Salem is just incredible for Halloween. Halloween around here starts in the beginning of October, and it goes right through the end. It's huge up here, and so it's such a fun fall season. And Red Sox are in the playoffs; it's even better. So, but I think for the fall, I'm going to gravitate maybe a little bit more towards some Englishes. I will also, take a trip into Paredes and pick up maybe some more of their Burley blends. That feels good in the fall. Some nice Burley, which I'm not really typically a Burley smoker, but I will go towards some of them. Blend 333. It's one of my favorite of theirs, and they're just really good with Burley blends. They have about 10, and it's something they really specialize in, and I think they're really good at. So it's kind of fun to break out into a little bit of Burley. And again, like a lot of you guys, I will probably go toward a little bit more of the Englishes, and I kind of favor some lighter Englishes like Early Morning Pipe. And I have to say, this his 10-year-old Dunhill mixture is just awesome. It's just fantastic. So that's what I do in the fall.
Sorry, my watch just started ringing there. I had to turn that off. So Stuart, now you're actually heading into spring where you are. So are you going to start going to Virginia's, or what's your plan?
Well, I've got about 8 blends that I tend to rotate through, and it's a mixture of aromatics and light Englishes. I'm not a big Burley fan. Never really could get into it. The Haunted Bookshop was sort of a bit disappointing for me. So I ended up mixing it with Nightcap, and that's sort of my go-to smoke when I fancy some. Yes, I'm very much like the others. I found that I'm probably tending more towards the aromatics in the summer months, only because I'll be smoking outside on the balcony and in the company of others, and the latter care blends tend to sort of be less have a less pleasant room note. So for them, but I also enjoy them. I have a bit of an eclectic palate, I guess. I just enjoy both the aromatics and the English, and of course the vapors. I think, as I mentioned in the intro, the last couple of weeks I've been going through the vapors and enjoying them more. So whether it's psychological or not, or just the mood that I'm in at the time.
I thought you would switch to just smoking Blood Red Moon all the time.
Well, that has been an absolute discovery for me. I've just loved the Blood Red Moon. It's it is very much my go-to aromatic at the moment.
And that's a perfect aromatic for Halloween too, right? So
yeah, exactly.
I've just been sort of cherry picking some of the fellows who are here in the Zoom room, but I know that there's a lot more people that I haven't picked on yet, and I just want to open it up so that everybody can have a chance to share some thoughts on this. Even if you're not really focused on changing your tobaccos or thinking of it in that way, it'd be fun to find out what tins or jars you've pulled out recently and are just kind of like having on your desk. Say, okay, I'm going to smoke this for a while. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass it to gallery view and just like whatever you feel like jump in. Yeah, David Johnson, go right ahead, my brother.
Thank you, sir. I have a very limited assortment of tobaccos that I smoke all the time. And number of years ago when I was smoking, when I was stationed back east, I used to go to a pipe shop all the time. And this was in the glory days when you can walk into a pipe shop and grab a pipe full and just get a sample and whatever. And I tried Burleys, and I tried Perique, and I tried Vapors, and I tried English, and I tried a couple of different non-aromatics. And to be honest, they all taste like ash to me. And there was just no enjoyment whatsoever. And so I always went back to the aromatics. I settled on a black Cavendish vanilla mixed with just a little bit of burley and a ribbon cut Virginia. It's like 3-to-1 mix black Cavendish to Virginia, and the Virginia was like a ribbon cut, almost like a Cavendish, and it had a vanilla casing to it, and that was about all I ever stuck with. And now I go with the Stoker B201. I get the the 1Q. I get the BCA. Every once in a while, I dabble in something just to see if I like it. And I made a big mistake in buying. When they do the battle of the blends, it's 3 ounces each of 2 different blends, and I made a mistake of buying the 3 each, and I hate it. And so I had to mix it up with something else just to make it smokable. So from now on, when I go in there, if I've got a battle of the blend, rather than getting the battle of the blend, I'll go look for that particular blend, and I'll buy 1 ounce, and then I'll buy 1 ounce of the other one, and I'll try it and see how I like it, rather than getting the 3 ounce. And it's kind of got to speak to me too, because if it doesn't speak to me, I won't buy it. But I've got a limited range. I really do. I've got a limited range. Right now, I've got my entire backstock of tobaccos is 1Q, Cornell and Deal Irish Blessing. I've got Cornell and Deal Vanilla Cavendish. I've got Cornell and Deal Black Gold Maple. And I've got Cornell and Deal Green River Vanilla. And I got Peter Stokeby 201. And then I'm working on the mix, the Black Raspberry Vanilla that I had to basically make smokable, just so I didn't have to throw it away. So, I'm rambling, but that's me. That's all I get. I'm a simple person. I love my Petersons. I love my Savinellis, but it's just as likely I'll grab a corn cob if I'm looking for something. I've never been that complicated. So, but anyway, that's me. And I'm going to let it go. I've talked too long already, but I'm going to let it go. Thank you very much, y'all.
Thank you, David. Mm-hmm. See, that's some of the, I'm following on some of the comments that are coming up on Facebook and YouTube. And so this kind of sharing that David's doing here, that makes the conversation really interesting, right? Because,
well, David, Didier, I would like to add here. In India, the weather is more or less same throughout the year, except for 2 months, December, January, when we get some winter. So the other 10 months, 9 or 10 months, it's almost hot. So for that climate, that kind of a climate, we always go in for Virginia vapor. But what actually decides my decision of tobacco is the mood that I'm in. Or in case if I'm listening to a particular music, I mean, what kind of a thing would be compatible for that kind of a music? So besides the weather, these things also play some role in my decision to go in for a particular blend at a particular time. Maybe that way I can even smoke a Latakia in peak June and July. So it all depends upon the mood and what kind of stuff I want at that point of time. So that's how I decide. So as of now, my favorites are McBaron's HH, that Latakia rolls, and a few other McBaron's Straight Virginia, and the vapors Mountain Camp and Poplar Camp. These are the 2 vapors which I like. Then maybe by end of November, I may switch over to Pirate Cake, which is a lad bomb. But I think, I mean, at that time of the year, I mean, we can have it and enjoy it. But predominantly, I mean, primarily it's the mood of the day. I mean, what kind of mood I'm in, I go in for that kind of blend. That's my story.
That's
you made a really good point. Smoking according to the mood you're in, and that's what I do very, very commonly. I live in the great southwestern desert. I'm in Phoenix, and it's summer. It's summertime, 8.5 months of the year. So it really doesn't pay much to go looking for a winter blend. I mean, you suffer through summertime all through the entire summer, and you sneeze and you miss winter. You're back into summer again. So that's the way it works, unfortunately. But there it is. So I don't have a winter cycle.
I think Ramachandran brought up a really interesting point that we've never even thought about before, and that is blends and music. Like we talked about blends and beverages, about pairing that. I think it would be really interesting for us to have that be the topic of one of our meetings, because here again, this group, very, very eclectic tastes in music. Mike Rizzo's into polka, and
gangster rap.
Right. I'm pretty sure I've heard Steve Emus has Insane Clown Posse on his playlist right there. So, let's do that one of these days. All right. We are heading into the last half hour of the meeting today. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for sharing, their thoughts on this topic. I learned a few things right there. And also thank you to all the people watching over there on Facebook and YouTube. They got a great conversation going on over there. Since I've actually accumulated some variants in tobaccos, the determining factor in what I'm smoking is actually what I'm drinking. So whatever I've got to drink in my hand makes me think of what I want to smoke. And there you go. But let's talk one of these days about music. So in the last few minutes of the meeting today, I thought I would at least bring up a little bit about some of the experiences at the Richmond Pipe Show. And I know Alvin had to break away to go watch the Texas-Oklahoma football game, but David Klein was there with me, and Todd was there. And was anybody else there? Who am I leaving out that I'm going to feel embarrassed that I didn't say? Anyway, love to share with you some of my experiences. This was the first pipe show I've ever been to. So I'm a complete virgin going in there, and my thoughts and commentary on that is just from a clean slate. But love to answer any questions. David and Todd's chime in and talk about all that kind of stuff. But I see you got your hand up there, bro. Pass it over to you, sir.
I was just more club business as far as I noticed that Oliver stepped away from the admin of the Facebook group, and I saw where Jurgen is no longer going to be a moderator, and I'm just wondering if you had other people who stepped into those roles, and what's going on with that, and hopefully there's nothing terrible happening that's caused any of these people to step away from what they're doing.
Just a reminder that our governing body is actually the Italian mafia, and they told us we have to take our marching orders from them. It's seasons, right? It's kind of the same thing, that to everything there's a season, and to every individual there are things that come along that is like, like our buddy Phil in Scotland. When it's lawn bowling season, we don't see him for months at a time. And so Jurgen especially says, I'm going to be part of the group. You'll see me all the time, but I've got an actual day job, and I'm and he's still, I guess, putting the Virtual Pipe Club band together. So we'll see him doing that. Oliver's on to some of the other projects that he's got going on. And so we miss him terribly already. Can't do without him, but we're making do as we can. And yes, okay. So for people to reach out to and coordinate new projects and stuff with, we got Tim, David Ruiz, Miguel, and we're gonna bring on some other folks. And by the way, this is not like an inner circle elite group or whatever. So if anybody in the club wants to, take on being a moderator or an idea person, just to like some, Tim has even before he became a moderator was bringing in new speakers and making suggestions of that. That'd be super, super awesome. I'll let Tim talk about this a little bit more too.
Okay, well, DDR, actually the question I had was in reference to the pipe show, and I'm wondering if you could share what was your first show, and so I'm wondering what was your initial reaction when you stepped on to the floor of the tent and you saw that sea of tables and pipes and tobacco and everything else. What was your initial emotional or otherwise reaction?
So it's a really interesting question because I had an idea about that scenario, but in fact, what happened was I got there on Friday morning and there was nobody there. Like I had all the tables, they were all empty. There's like 5 guys because Friday was just basically a swap meet. So we had a few guys who brought some of their own pipes to swap out and bunch of tobacco that they had to sell. And it was just people and it was just meeting new people. Like every time I get together with other pipe smokers, it's just the people that you meet and start to chat with. And that was immediately like strangers, never heard of me, never heard of the Virtual Pipe Club, never heard of anything at all like this. And they were like, hey, how is it? Come on over. Let's chat, try some of this blend and stuff. So I made some new friends and that was really nice. And then right away, because I had scheduled this beforehand, we took a tour of the Sutliff factory, and that blew my mind. Right, to walk through. I've got some video and some photos that I took, obviously while we were on the tour, of all of the old machines, and they were specifically processing a bunch of perique that weekend because that was sort of the theme of the show. Mark Ryan was there, Russell Lett was there to do some blending workshops and whatnot. And so they had barrels and barrels and slabs of perique that they were processing and whatnot. So that was hugely entertaining. And he invited us. So we had our tour led by the CEO of Sutliff, of the American branch here. And he invited us to, like, when we passed by a barrel or not the machines, just to make sure it's clear. But he said, go ahead and stuff your hand in it, bring it up, smell it, feel it. So it was, by the time the tobacco has come to the factory floor, it is being processed, blended, and then packaged and then shipped out. Like I'd never seen anything of that nature before. And that was really, really special, really entertaining, really very educational. Something that some of you may not know, especially if you're one of the newer pipe smokers or whatever, the machines that they use in the factory are many of them so old that they had 3 machines for one of the final processing steps. And one of them, they no longer operate because they had to cannibalize it for parts for the other 2 machines, because those kinds of machines are never going to be manufactured again. Like the companies that made them are out of business, decades ago and stuff like that. So they've got a lot of things happening in the factory that are, being done by machines that are, some of them almost 100 years old. And and that was fascinating. But it makes you think, right? Like, what are they going to do if there's a part that breaks and they don't have something they can cannibalize? So that was my initial thought. And then the next day, right? The next day, Saturday, I thought I would sleep in a little bit and then get there mid-morning. And by the time I got there, it was like a beehive buzzing, like guys up and down the tables and breaking out stuff, that they had brought with them. Lots of conversation. Old home week for so many people. Like, hey, I haven't seen you. They, get together. I've been to lots of conferences and trade shows in my life, and that's always like that when you live in different parts of the country and you show up at a trade show, and it's all the people that you only see at the trade shows, but they're your best friends, right? So that was fun.
Hey, what about the stuff you bought you were going to show us?
Yeah, you guys want to see that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me turn off the spooky music here. Okay, so as I said, I got away fairly easy. I did buy 3 wonderful pipes, though, and this is the first pipe that I bought.
Nice.
That is a bluebird, and it is, oh gosh, he's an Italian pipe maker, lives in Italy, and I learned his name specifically because somebody else was asking me about it, and now I've forgotten. But these were being sold by tobaccopipes.com, which, by the way, has been bought by Sutliff.
Yeah.
So the shipping department, the inventory and everything is there in Richmond on the second floor. They've given them the whole second floor of the factory there to host their stuff. And then the 2 owners still, the original founders still live in Florida. But they brought these, and I wanted a pipe that I could just smoke stuff in. And so I got this little pipe here. Very reasonable price for how beautiful it is, by the way. My big acquisition, the thing that I was waiting for, a guy that I've bought many pipes from, Janos Kokinos from Cyprus. I didn't know what he had, but I was like something there is going to speak to me. And this is the pipe that I picked up there from Janos.
When you showed us that here at the show.
At the show, right.
I saw the bowl, the head of that. The first thing that went into my mind was Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah, right.
It's
you can also use that as a weapon in self-defense if it gets hairy when you're out.
If I'm ever at a show and there's somebody's fighting me for the tobacco that I want, I have got this thing here. It's exactly right. But this is a much better view of what it looked like than what I was able to show you at the show there. But it's just gorgeous. It's got this silver band on it, and this is gold, like actual gold leaf. And most likely he's using food grade gold leaf. It's, nothing. Otherwise this pipe would have been a lot more expensive, but it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous.
This model is also known as pickaxe, no?
Right. This is a pickaxe.
All I can see is the back of the alien's head now. Thanks, David.
Beautiful.
And then Janos, who was just the loveliest. By the way, in case you missed it last week, Janos has given a 20% discount to members of the Virtual Pipe Club. So if you go onto his website and see anything that you like or anything that you want to make a commission, we have a special discount code. It's just Virtual Pipe Club. Plug that in there and you'll get 20% off of anything that you see. And also his prices are pretty darn reasonable they're all very unique, very, beautiful pieces of art. But he also gifted me this pipe, which I brought home, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet, very nice. I don't know. I've got some pokerish type of pipes. And it turns out this thing is phenomenal. I've been smoking it all week long. It's a fantastic pipe. So Janos, wherever you are, bless you, my friend. It's a great pipe. And then, of course, there was some giveaways that you get. This is another reason what David Klein was saying. You know, the budget way of buying tobacco and is to travel 700 miles and stay in a hotel and eat all your food in restaurants, and then you just get cheap tobacco. But they gave a bunch of giveaways. So I have a half a dozen cigars here that they gave us, a tin of John Cotton's double pressed Kentucky, delicious, may I just say. And then, like late Saturday afternoon, they began giving away these tins. And I think Alvin was the one who didn't let me. Oh, Vitali Piero. Thank you, Glenn, is the maker of Bluebird pipes. See? So this is some 5100. And I haven't cracked it open yet because I'm saving it. TobaccoPipes.com also had brought some of their cobblestone blends, and I just picked up a selection of them because I thought they looked interesting. You know, so there's some black coffee, some Virginia plug, which I did open up. This is really great. And I thought I had one more. Anyway, and this is an older tin. This is 2017 that Janos brought for me. He said, I want you to try some of this because this is Cyprian Latakia. And I don't know if you can't get this in the U.S. So he brought this tin with him just so that I could taste. He's very proud of his country. He's very proud of Cyprus. And so he brought that over. These were some.
Well, David, is that 5100? Is that McClelland?
I believe it is. You made me do it, didn't you? Yes, it is the McClellan IB 5100.
Oh, that's absolutely incredible tobacco.
So I'm. This was like at the end of the day on Saturday. The buzz started to go around and said, "Did you get your 10 of the 5100?" And you know, it's like, and they only had a limited quantity. So I was at the table talking with somebody, and I didn't want to just be rude and just jump up and run off from the conversation. And then all of a sudden, here comes Alvin. And he goes, "Man, I wasn't going to let you leave the show without your 10." So Alvin was really generous in doing that. Hey, Todd's up there. Yes. You had a thought on there, Todd.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on your comments there. First of all, I will tell you that it was $5 for the admission on Saturday. I couldn't make it on Friday, unfortunately, so I missed the tour, which I regret. But Saturday, $5. There was probably, I don't know, David, you tell me, $40 worth of stuff in the bag. Would you say?
Easily,
maybe more, right? $40 or $50 in the bag that they just give you for walking in the door. So, you know, they pay you to go to the show, basically. Some good stuff too. I got, I think it was all different stuff. So I got a tin of Kentucky Plug from Cobblestone. I got the bag of cigars that you got. I got, I don't know, some other stuff too. But yeah, I thought that was great. I had no expectations of that whatsoever. This was also my first show, though, being a newbie, and I didn't know what to expect, but I definitely wasn't expecting that. My first impressions walking in, it was a sea of tables and people and pipes and tobaccos. It was overwhelming at first. I stood there and like, what do I do? And I just got in line and I just paraded down one side and then paraded back the other way. And it was 4 rows of tables that were probably 20 tables long each. I don't know. And, my takeaway was kind of like there was something for everybody. The vendors that were represented there covered the gamut. There was the old guy who just threw a bunch of old pipes into a Rubbermaid tote and said, find what you want. And, it was almost like a build your own pipe kind of thing because there were whole pipes and pieces of pipes. And, so there was that level. There were gentlemen and ladies who were selling, from their personal cellar that were just looking to sort of lighten their own load. So they had some great, I went back several times to one gentleman who's very nice, and I've already sent him a follow-up email. because he had some great tins at reasonable prices that had some great age on them and some stuff that's hard to find. So so I bought some tins from him. There was another gentleman there who was selling from his cellar, where most of his stuff was jarred. So I managed to pick up my first McClellan from him. I had never tasted a McClellan before. I don't recall right this second which ones I grabbed, but I grabbed 3 jars of McClellan from him. And then, of course, I got the tin that David just showed that they were selling I think at the beginning of the show, they were doing it, 1 or 2 tins per person. That was it. But then later on, they made the announcement, and that's when the fervor, happened. They said, all right, the limit's off. Take as many as you want. And they were $20 a piece. So I went and grabbed one real quick. I grabbed one for me and a buddy. So part of my experience there was I had reached out to 2 guys that I'd been chatting up recently and said, hey, I'm going to the show. Is there anything you're looking for? So I bought some stuff for myself. I bought some stuff for 2 other guys. And so it was nice being able to hook them up because they couldn't make the show. And finally, I'll just say I really enjoyed meeting people. I chatted up to a person. Everybody I spoke to was exceedingly kind, nice, forthcoming, everything you'd want, in a group of people. It was a nice experience. I learned a lot. I made some good connections as far as growing my cellar, growing my pipe collection, and also just met some nice folks who hopefully I'll keep in touch with and maintain a friendship with. So that's it.
I have to echo, by the way, David and Glenn, I see your hands up. I'm going to throw it over to you in a second. I just want to echo what Todd just said about how nice people are and how like you said, just everything you want to meet in a person. Mark Ryan, who we've had on the show before, Mark Ryan and I couldn't be further apart politically in any way, shape, or form, and yet I love that dude. I love him to death, and he is a crack up to talk to. He's a wealth of history and information. I just like hanging around with him, and he puts up with my liberalness, and that's very generous on his part. Like it's just like that. It's just beautiful.
That's the beauty of this. Not to interrupt, but that's the beauty of this community. I mean, everybody who I've ever come across in this community is just level-headed, generous, trustworthy. I mean, where else can you send a few $100s worth of tobacco that you're trading out without even, all right, you trade me, I'll trade you. And there's never even a thought of am I going to get burned or everybody's just.
Speaking of Mark Ryan and that whole thought, I saw Mark Ryan walk up and give a guy probably a 5 or maybe even more pound bag of Perique from a special lot, and he said it was, like I think it's like $10 an ounce or something like that. And 5 pounds. He says, send me the money later when you figure it out. Like,
yeah, like I'm sure there's outliers, but everybody I've ever come across is just the best people in the world. I mean, and for some reason, smoking a pipe, which is this little thing, can really just tell you a lot about the character of people. It's kind of funny.
Absolutely.
Mike, you're right here. I would take this opportunity to thank you first and also Tim Heineck, from whom I purchased a pipe. And Tim, was he's such a nice person. He said, first you have the pipe, smoke it. If you like it, then you pay me. Otherwise, you can, even after using it, send back to me. In this day, we can never come across such a magnanimity from anyone. And I was absolutely floored. I said, how can I do that? He said, no, you first receive it, smoke it. If you like it, you send me the work. That was fabulous. Then I realized, oh God, we are all members of a common fraternity, pipe smoking fraternity. So probably that's the outcome. That kind of a behavior. You were also nice enough to say, okay, let me send it to you. So I think that's inherent in this community, that kind of a camaraderie.
Yeah, I gotta say,
thank you, Mike, and thank you, Tim.
Yeah, I gotta say an example with Mark Ryan. Like he knows, well, we met so many years ago, 6, 7. and I've been buying so many tobaccos from him. And the last couple of times, I checked with him, hey, are you going to go to Columbus? He said, no, Richmond. And he said, are you running out of Perique, David? Do you need anything else? I said, well, I would like to have this one because last time I couldn't get it, blah, blah, blah. He sent me a huge box with like about $8 to $10 of his Periques. And he said, no payment, no shipping. I said, well, let me at least pay for the shipping. No. Next time we meet, you buy me something. I mean, it was worth $200 or more. And he just said, no worries on anything. So that's how generous people are. And they don't do it just because, okay, I'm going to be kind to you for a minute and then you're going to keep buying from me. No. I bought from him way before and we became friends and we check on each other every now and then. He told me about the story that happened to him recently that all the factory where he keeps all the barrels got wet, and probably 1/3 of all these barrels got like floated, and he has to remove all that, get all the parts from outside, remove all that 1/3 at the bottom in case he was going to get moldy or something, and put the other ones back. So he lost some money on that, and he's still being generous. He offered me if we meet to Richmond, he said, I have plenty of points. I can fly you there. I say, no, that's too much. He offered me to go to his house because I'm interested in see the whole process of grabbing the leaves and putting in the barrels and switching them. He offered me to stay at his house even. I don't see many other places where people offer those things. I'm going to say another word for Tim. When we meet in Columbus, he was so generous to give me one of his beautiful pipes, the one you saw last week, I'll show you now, for free as a present. That's what this is about.
Yes.
And thank you, Tim, for that.
That's what one of the fun things that I enjoy doing is, just bombing people with tobacco. There's random people that I'm friends with in the community, and I'll just send them a box of tobacco, and then they'll randomly send me a box of tobacco, and it's just, spreading the wealth, and, certain people that may not be able to afford, certain blends or can't get their hands on stuff. I mean, there's no better feeling than surprising somebody with a box of tobacco that they may not be able to get themselves. I mean, it's.
I want to pop in here because David Klein's been patiently waiting, and I want to. We're getting so close to the end of the meeting today that I wanted to let him talk a little bit about his experience at the Pipe Show. Ramachandran, I apologize for cutting you off there.
No problem.
Because next week you're going to come back and you're going to remember the story.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, David.
Maybe.
All right. Thank you. I just wanted to chime in and echo some of the comments that we've already heard. I got to Richmond early. I got there on Thursday afternoon, and I was looking for a place to smoke my pipe, and I went out to this little park next door to the hotel. And before you know it, some other guy, this fellow named Ozzy, I invited him to join the virtual pipe club, but I haven't seen him here today. But he came out and he saw me smoking the pipe. He says, "Oh, you must be here for the pipe show." And so we started smoking together. And then a few minutes later, Alvin Miller came walking out. And so we hung out there and had a pipe together out in this little park next to the hotel. And then later that evening, we found out the Richmond pipe smokers were meeting at a brew pub over on the other side of the river, the James River there. So we took a taxi over there and hung out with them for a while. And just like other people have said, it's the people. I've never met a pipe smoker that was unpleasant. They're all just, all of us are, I think, wonderful people. And, I made some cracks earlier about the expense of going there and all of that stuff, but it was just a wonderful experience, especially the Sutliff factory tour. I never dreamed that there would be that much production going on in making tobacco. And again, the people at Sutliff were so nice. I ended up buying a couple of pipes, got some some free swag at the thing, and some tobaccos, some aged tobaccos that I never would have bought. I mean, stuff that's dated back to '05 and so forth. And so I just had a wonderful time. And Alvin is not here, but he was telling me he's going to retire from his job and then he's going to travel around going to pipe shows. That's his plan. And I think that's not a bad plan, because it's the people that you meet who are so friendly and open and, you know, welcoming. It's just a wonderful thing. So the Richmond show was the first pipe show I've ever gone to, but won't be the last. I'm gonna try to go to another one. I don't know. I guess there's one coming up in Dallas. I don't think I can make that one, but I'll be at another one. So hopefully we'll see more of you folks there.
I agree entirely. I could just see Alvin on his motorcycle just driving around all the different pipe shows. Glenn, you had your hand up a bit ago. Can I pop over to you, sir?
Sure. Just a quick bit of humor. When I was listening to David Johnson's description of all of his aromatics, I thought maybe he mistakenly went to a donut shop to look for pipes.
Definitely.
They all sound good.
Speaking of which, David, I see your hand up there also.
Yeah, just real quick. We were talking one day about what is your grail pipe? What is the pipe that you would really want to get? And I happened to talk about a Wiley that I had a long time ago that I ended up losing in when my storage was sold. And I said that I've never had a Peterson. I've always wanted a Peterson. And, you know, nobody really ever said much of anything, you know, just a couple of people asked, you know, sent a direct message. And next thing I know, I got a thing in the email that my order has been shipped. And I know, what order? I didn't order anything. And next thing I know, I got a Peterson in the mail. And just a couple of days later, I got a Wiley in the mail. And it's like, oh my goodness. I mean, these guys are, you know, that's like $200-$300 worth of pipe. And it's just, here, yours, you know. You said you want it, here you go, you know. And where else can you do that? Where else can you get that? I mean, it's just wonderful people. And I wish I, you know, I don't want to call any names because they're anonymous gifts, but I just, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I thank them just so much. And I'll go back.
Is anybody else like getting teary-eyed on that? I mean, I'm serious. I'm not cracking a joke there. David, that's a beautiful story.
It just epitomizes the community right there. I mean, where else? I mean, we're biased, but I mean, there's no other community like it in the world that I've ever come across.
And let me say that out of this just incredible worldwide community of pipe smokers, the members of the Virtual Pipe Club are the best of the best. So I just have to say that, just, you know, because. Tim Heineck, can you do cleanup hitting and take us home? Because we're just at the end of our meeting. I got a couple of announcements and then we'll be out of here. But Tim, let me give it to you there.
Sure. I want to thank everybody for being here today and sharing your stories and, you know, just being good buddies to each other and being really good people. There's a level of trust, generosity, and camaraderie in our group and in the pipe smoking group that I agree with you, Mike Rizzo. Just can't find that in a lot of places. And so we're very fortunate, and, you know, great job everybody for being so kind to each other and being supportive. So I guess as you move off into the next week, you know, let's be safe, everybody. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of others. You know, wash your hands, do the things you need to do to keep ourselves safe, and look forward to seeing everybody next week to continue this wonderful story.
I can't think of anything that I could add to that because that's perfect. Tim, thank you. I'm just going to say we'll see everybody next week. And in the meantime, we love you. And I'll see you.
You guys, everybody have a great week.
Bye.
There you
Bye,
go.
guys.
Bye, everybody.
Great week, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Take it easy.
Ciao.
Sweet smokes to everybody.